Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
Struggling Bahamians speak up about unemployment.
The Minister of Labor addresses the latest unemployment figures.
The All Saints camp urges for the assistance of over $100,000 in utilities bills. We've got the details straight ahead.
Stretching it out with the world famous Baha Yogi.
Our news is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Topping news tonight, the recent release of the latest job figures revealed a slight dip in unemployment. But for those who are struggling to survive, the numbers mean nothing when it comes to feeding their kids and putting clothes on their backs. Jasmine Brown has their stories in this report.
Each year, officials release unemployment statistics, but it's the people behind those statistics that insist those numbers mean nothing when it comes to surviving.
Government trying to number this, so listen, you can't number these people.
On Friday, the Department of Statistics revealed the unemployment rate dropped by 1.7%, from 11.6% in October 2016 to 9.9% in April. But Bolag, who was a father of two, says numbers do not feed hungry mouths. He insisted politicians need to get out of the office and onto the streets.
Stop surveying, stop fronting, stop saying, listen, we can do this, we can do that. Actually come around. These human beings, these people actually have feelings and lives. You could come around and speak to me. This is the thing, I hate this. When we come to you for something, we ain't come to you for everything. Just hear me out. It has helped so much just to hear someone.
Then there's the mental toll that comes along with being unemployed. Mother of two, Letitia Woodside, says she was unemployed for 15 months before her prayers were answered and she landed a job at the Foam Community Center with director Candy Gibson. The 24-year-old, who is now pregnant with her third child, says during that time she tried desperately to find employment, going on dozens of interviews but never landing the job. She says being unable to support her family left her in a dark place.
It feels bad and discouraging because sometimes I wanted to commit suicide and stuff because I didn't have no help. It was hard. It's really hard.
And while there are over 200,000 people currently employed in the Bahamas, there are those in the labor force who say not even a job is enough to keep Bahamians afloat in a struggling economy. This father of five says that's especially true with the cost of just about everything going up and salaries remaining stagnant.
I can tell you the truth, right? I can be real with you. God is take care of me and the children. I only make that second step to go there and find a little side job or put in my little 8 hours on the job. But other than that, God. So imagine when your kids grow up and they say, oh, I won't get a job. They can have to be saying, oh, I won't get 2 jobs.
That's where we're at now.
One to pay your rent, one to feed the children, and you might have to just sell with nothing.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Meanwhile, new Labor Minister Dion Folk says government is pleased with the dip in unemployment. However, he attributes the slight dip to temporary job placements and political hires. George Urbain reports.
Minister of Labor Dion Folk addresses the latest unemployment figures and his plans to fix it moving forward.
The Department of Statistics labor force survey revealed last week that unemployment in the country dropped from 11.6% to 9.9% nationally. According to folks, the numbers were inflated by temporary workers and political hires.
Period for this survey was the last week in April, right before the election. A significant amount of those jobs were temporary jobs related to the carnival, the 52-week program, and election hiring, especially in Abaco, Grand Bahama, and New Providence. A significant amount of those persons are now unemployed, those who were employed on a temporary basis.
The survey showed that 21,880 persons were listed as unemployed, 11,680 women, and 10,200 men. Last week, officials from the Department of Statistics called on the government to assist the department with additional staff so that surveys could be carried out at a more frequent basis. But according to folks, they will just have to wait.
In the United States and most European countries, they do monthly figures. I think it's about 3 or 4 days after the end of each month, the stats come out. Unfortunately, for us to do that here, we will have to do exactly what they're asking for. We'll have to give a significant amount of additional staff. The government now is hard pressed in terms of our financial commitments.
Folks added that the government is just trying to avoid another credit ratings downgrade by overpopulating the public sector as the previous administration did. He said the Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, has instructed the cabinet ministers to help create permanent jobs in the private sector.
If we begin to add people onto the government payroll, it will not be favorable for us and the international rating agencies. One of the reasons why we were downgraded twice under the last administration is because they opened up the doors to massive employment in the government service. Almost 6,000 people were employed.
According to folks, the plan is to boost the private sector to relieve some of the burden on the public sector.
Key element in this is the private sector. We are very pleased that Bahamas will employ an additional 2,500 persons by the end of next year. All 3 of the hotels will be operational. And that would be a massive injection in our economy. There are some big plans that are going to be announced shortly about Grand Bahama. I am not at liberty to say anything, but the appropriate minister will make an announcement shortly. There are a lot of good things happening as far as the economy is concerned.
Reporting for our news, I'm Georgia Bain.
The All Saints Camp remains a place of refuge for people diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. However, the facility is in desperate need of donations to help pay off mounting utility and grocery bills and to purchase beds for its residents. April Sands tells us more.
Well, it's a huge epidemic here in the Bahamas that's usually unspoken of. It's the amount of patients here with HIV and AIDS sitting at the All Saints camp. But the camp refuses to allow the deafness to fall short on anyone's ears as they speak out on the conditions that have worsened throughout the years.
Although reluctant to inform us of just how bad conditions are at the All Saints camp, Assistant Administrator Keishla Forbes revealed that while they have a few sponsors who help to provide 3 meals a day for their patients, the facility has a light bill of over $100,000, an $800 phone bill, and a monthly grocery bill of $4,000.
Now, a lot ask the question how the bill got that high. Weren't we paying the light bill? We have to understand that this camp was here from Reverend Glenroy Nottage time. God bless his soul. We could not get that light bill off because it's underneath his name. So it just continued to add up and add up and add up. Although she put funds on the light bill on a monthly basis, when she go back to put the same amount of funds again, what it was when she left, it right back up to the same. So it's practically, it really, like I could say, probably don't even make no sense. But she just put it there to make sure that the light actually stays on. We can't have them in here, no light.
Is there, but there's light right now,
Yeah, that's
right?
light, that's light. They have
It's
light.
the bill.
Yeah, it's just the bill.
Have they threatened you at all with anything to say that they're going to turn off the lights if it's not paid?
Not yet. Not yet. But we making sure, keeping our fingers crossed that that don't happen, because at the end of the day, if that do happen, then we definitely don't have that kind of funds to make sure that the light is turned back on.
Located off Carmichael Road, the All Saints camp is a place of refuge for men, women, and children diagnosed with HIV and AIDS. Forbes says the facility is in desperate need of about 70 beds to accommodate the 60-plus people who call the camp home.
Have you had any situations where you've had to turn back people because there was not enough room?
Yes, it isn't enough room. And then if we have room, they're not livable. We can't put nobody in the room because either we probably had, because after the hurricane we'll probably have a leakage in the roof or something like that, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to put nobody in a room where we would not want to live ourselves.
How many persons have you had to turn back? Can you roughly say, estimated?
We have phone calls practically almost every day.
But their challenges don't end there. Pointing to this roof, which is in a state of disrepair, Forbes says whenever it rains, it pours in the kitchen.
On a monthly basis on grocery, I can tell you that Miss Ingram, she actually spent on a monthly basis almost probably about $2,500 monthly just on grocery. That's grocery. That's not even like cleaning utilities, because the rooms has to stay sanitized. We have to make sure that they're gloves, that for the bedridden patients, that they have bed pads, they have pampers. So just grocery alone is about $2,500. And when you have to go to get cleaning utilities, it's just bleach, that's pine sol, ammonia, Lysol. We have to make sure that that's on hand, because especially for like when people want to come and visit, we don't want them to run away knowing that what is actually, because you know what the place is. Yeah. So people actually run away because they feel as if they talk to somebody, they get it.
Forbes, who was invited to the camp since she was 15 years old, says she envisions much more for the facility, which serves as a place of refuge for some of society's most vulnerable members. She says she has watched ambulances bring patients straight to their doors, and she looks forward to the day they don't have to turn anyone away.
In a few years, I want to make sure and to see that the people that are actually coming in, we could actually take more people. You understand where you're coming from? More rooms can be built. More people can be off of the streets. When they need some place out of the hospital or when social service call, we could say bring them on down. We don't have to turn nobody around. So the more help we get, then the more we can help the people that actually need our help.
The camp accepts donations of clothes and shoes, non-perishable food items, and furniture. Reporting for our news, I'm April Sands.
Thanks, April. Well, yoga is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices or disciplines aimed at just making the body feel good. It's something catching wind here in the Bahamas. Today, I got a good workout in with Baha Yogi. She's become an internet sensation with an online following of over 100,000. Alexandra Kaufman, better known as Baha Yogi, has taken yoga to the next level, mixing yoga with the scenic background you'd only get here in the Bahamas. And today, she gave me an invite to get in on a quick workout. 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Better than no seconds. Oh, yoga is for everyone. I think it's a common misconception that yoga is just for women, but it definitely helps with obviously flexibility, but strength, balance, endurance, just state of mind, state of being, and it basically encourages attaching breath to your movement. And with doing that, you create more of a sense of a flow, and then that helps with so many different things in the body.
The thing is, when I think of getting a workout, yoga doesn't exactly come to mind. I learned differently today.
I think one of the main things that I really want everyone to know is that there's so many different styles of yoga. If you want your yoga to be more of a meditative state, that's totally fine, but there's also different forms like Ashtanga and power yoga, which really can invoke sweat. It's more of like a calisthenic based yoga.
So with the location Wolf Fitness, we got to work, starting with salutation A, the first foundation of yoga.
So deep breath in, and as you exhale, come down halfway, elbows hug into the sides. Right there, good. Inhale, up dog. So we're gonna push forward and up, tops of the feet, into your mat. Tops of the feet. Tops of the feet, good.
Okay.
So you're pushing forward the chest, shoulders draw back along the spine. And then exhale, push back and up, downward facing dog. Roll over the toes, ground the feet. So right now you have a really small down dog, so we're gonna walk it forward.
I have a small down dog. To put it mildly, it was a different kind of workout for me.
Perfect. Halfway lift, straighten the knees, look forward. Exhale, fold into your thighs. Nice straight legs.
Okay.
Perfect. Inhale all the way up, palms press. Exhale, release. You did it. Yeah, that's only one though. That's only one.
So what?
That's salutation A. We're gonna do B next.
Okay. Yep, that was only half the workout.
All right, so inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. So we're gonna push the hips back, lift up with the arms. So remember, big toes touch, space between the heels. Good, so you're shifting all the weight into your heels, pit of the belly is in and up. Good. Deep breath in, exhale, fold.
And eventually, I got the hang of it.
Perfect. Up dog, tops of the feet. Good. Down dog, push up, and back. So now, right foot forward, warrior one. So left foot pivots up about 45 degrees. Right foot comes forward between the palms. Oh. Yeah, we're getting fancy now.
Yeah.
Inhale, reach up. So grow on that butt foot.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, like that.
Yes.
Okay. We switched sides and then we were done. Yeah. All right, you got me here with no socks. Surprisingly,
your element.
Surprisingly, I'm sweating.
Of course.
I didn't expect to sweat.
And that was just a warm up.
Baha Yogi lives in Abaco and is only in Nassau for a few weeks. Here's how you can sign up for her classes.
Yeah, so well, right now I'm teaching here at Wolf Fitness Studios in Airport Industrial Park. I'll be here Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and then Saturdays at 8 a.m.
For how long?
I think my last class is on September 4th. That's a Monday.
Baha Yogi says one thing she wants people to know is everyone, regardless of their size, can do yoga. Trust me, if I can, so can you. Still to come on our news, PMH has a new medical chief of staff. The details are after this break.